Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday, no it's actually not, it's Wednesday today. I see I'm just back from my trip and I'm still a little confused about all of the day, what day it is, what time it is. But I'm here with a technique. So I'm doing something maybe a little different today. I'm considering this a technique. So I'm using the Notes and Totes dies and I'm going to show you how I made the 3D bag that I shared on my blog yesterday. Didn't do a video for that little bag, and so I thought I'd show you how I made it. It's actually quite easy to make a three-dimensional tote using these dies. So I thought that's my technique tonight. So I'm going to switch over. Hopefully I can see. I'm just going to refresh my Facebook feed just so that I can see if I'm getting comments. I seem to have some issues with the comments on my Facebook feed. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Hey Holly, welcome. Yeah, good evening. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay, so first of all, this is the little tote that I shared yesterday, and so I just put some things in it to show you actually how big it is. So I created this before I went to Disney, which is why it was kind of red and black. Used a little bit of ribbon. Look at these adorable sunglasses. It's got a pocket on it. I only decorated one side, but we'll do something different tonight. And it holds a fair amount of stuff. Hey, Connie. So I put a gift card into it, a little chocolate bar, and a package of Tic Tacs. So it's a full-size package of Tic Tacs. And there's still room for other things in here. So it's a great little 3D item to, give to somebody. You can also use this. This is the Notes and Totes bundle. So all of the dies. So you can just use one layer of the die. So this front layer, and put it on to a card, and have this note or this bag on the front of a card. And then there's all sorts of dies that you can decorate with. You can make it look like a beach scene. You can put pockets. We're going to use a pocket. It's got a water bottle and a sunscreen, some seashells. So there's lots of things you can decorate the bag with. And you can also, this is a really cool, I haven't used this one yet, really cool die. That kind of goes along with the sentiments that are in the bundle, that make it look like it is kind of a newspaper article. So newsflash, you're fabulous. And so this die makes it look like it's a newspaper. So it's a very cute bundle. So far, I've got some cards to share on blogs coming up where I've made a card using it, but tonight I'm going to show you how to make the 3D bag. Okay, so let's put that right there. So first of all, what you need are two pieces that are the bag itself. So you're going to cut two pieces using this die. And I cut them out of cardstock. You can cut them out of designer series paper, but you do need two of these. So before we actually put these together, I'm going to kind of decorate it with the stitching and the bottom. Let's take those out. The bottom. So this bottom, and then the stitch lines and the handles. Well, we won't put the handles on quite yet. So I found it easier to do this before I put the bag together. So it's kind of note to self. So these two pieces I've cut out. So I've cut the bag out of strawberry slush, and then I cut the accent pieces out of Secret Sea. So you can use whatever adhesive you want, but for these pieces I'm going to use just a little bit of liquid glue. And like I said, I find it easier to do this before I get the bag put together. So we'll just take and adhere. Actually, before I do that piece goes on second. Oopsie. These pieces go on first, and I just find it easier. Just put a little line of glue down those two. So this is actually longer, which is why they go on first, and then you can cover it over with that bottom piece. So there are stitch lines on it. If you want to make it look distressed, you can crinkle it up first, and then maybe use a blending brush to do some sponging to give it some accents. But I'm going to decorate mine with a pocket. So that's the one. And then we're going to do the same to this one. So there are score lines on here, so you can just kind of put your glue along those score lines. Like that. And if you have extra, if you got glue kind of sticking out like I do, splodging out, just kind of wipe it off. There we go. So get this on, and then we can start putting our bag together. The rest of the decorating can happen once you have your bag together, but I do find that these go on better before it goes together. Now, when these two go together, when I first put it together, I ended up gluing these two pieces together, and then I had this kind of what would be a seam on the inside, and it didn't lay very flat. And so what I found worked the best is on only one of the two, we're going to cut that one off. So just take and cut one of those flaps off, and then this piece can adhere on, and you don't have that double seam on the inside. And we're going to do the same on this one, because when we fold it over, we want. So I'm going to cut one off of one and one off of the other. Doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. Now, you can use liquid glue, you can use tear and tape, whatever you want. I'm going to use tear and tape because I find that it's just a little bit stronger. So I'm going to put tear and tape right along that flap. Let's trim that off. So on the two pieces, let's throw those in my recycle bin before I mix them up. On the two pieces, the two flaps on both of them, let's put just a little bit of tear and tape. Again, you can use liquid glue if you want to, or Seal Plus. And I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm just going to take and pull this off. And so just take it and lay it. Got some rough section where I cut it was a bit rough. Okay, so we're going to take and just adhere this. It's kind of on an angle, but that's okay. So then just burnish it. So that will be the seam, and then you don't end up with that extra layer in here that just frustrated me when I was doing it before. Now, these are gonna have to glue those on just a little bit better, but we'll worry about that when we've got the box or the bag together. All right, so then you can just bring this around, and this can go on. So you're just gonna line up your seam, your top. If you start at the top and line that up, she says confidently, there you go. Hang on to it at the top and then just push it down. And with tear and tape, you can just kind of burnish it with your finger. If you're using liquid glue, you want to hold that in place until it seals. But with the tear and tape, you don't have to worry too much. So then you can now tuck these in. There are kind of tabs here that tuck in like that, and I did find it was a bit of a pain to kind of push these in. I'm sure somebody will tell me that there's a much easier way to do this, but I just kind of tuck them up in. And where did the other one go? There's that one. This was probably the hardest part for me, is to try and figure out how these tuck up. So we're gonna just tuck them in. Tuck this one in as well. Oops, not that. There we go. Again. And if you get really frustrated by these, like I did on one of the ones that I made, I just actually cut them off. Okay, so now I've got them tucked in, and I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and just kind of put liquid glue in there and hold that bottom until it has glued, it's adhered, and this like that. So now I have a bottom, and if you're worried about these, because it does kind of make a hole if they're not over to the side, you can take a little glue dot, but mine seem to be hiding that little hole pretty well. But these aren't, and so now we can take and glue if you want to use a little bit more glue, or I found a glue dot works really well just to hold those in the corner. So just put a glue dot underneath and press it into place. Glue dots are magic things. I love them because they're just really easy. Maybe do the bottom first. Well, that would be a really good idea, Connie. And that may be why I struggled with this both times that I've done it, because I didn't do the bottom first, but maybe doing the bottom first is a good idea. It's funny how you get stuck into a way of doing things. All right, one more glue dot on the bottom. I would love to have a bag in strawberry slush and secret sea. It's just such a pretty color combination. My sister and I, where's my bag that we bought? My sister and I treated ourselves, I'll show you the bag, treated ourselves to a bag in Disney. So this is the bag we treated ourselves. It's a nice canvas bag and just plain with Mickey on it, kind of the old-fashioned Mickey. And so that was our treat in Disney. And my colors that I chose when I made that bag before I left were kind of Mickey colors. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, so then the next pieces you need 2 handles for your bag. And I found glue dots on these worked. You could put a little bit of glue if you wanted to, but I found a little glue dot, and I just kind of rolled it up into a little ball and put it on the bottom of the handle, kind of that part that would be kind of attached with some stitching. So on stage where this bundle was demonstrated, I think I said to you, the demonstrator crumpled the cardstock up and made it look quite distressed, and so it was very cool. And then she sponged to make it look even more distressed. It was a lovely bag. All right, and so those 2 then handles can just go on, and if you kind of push it together, you can get them roughly in the same spot. So now we've got our bag mostly decorated. So I cut out the pocket, and I pulled out the adhesive foam strips, and that way, if you want to, you can actually tuck something in to the pocket. So we're just going to take and put those on the edges, sides, and the bottom. So when I get my adhesive foam strips, I love to use these on really thin sentiments, for example, definitely on shaker cards. But I cut them. They come in a long package. I think they're 9 1/4 inches long. And so I just take and cut that into about thirds, so that they're just easier to manage for me when they're shorter. Okay, so now we can actually, it doesn't really matter which is the front and which is the back, so we will put our pocket on. We're just going to put one pocket onto the front. Now, I cut out a scarf, so that's the scarf, so this can kind of hang on there like that. I cut that out of a piece of the, I think it's Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. It's got some strawberry slush on it. We'll put that on. And then I cut out 2 of the different the sunglasses in two. So the sunglasses cut out the outline of the hearts as well as the solid, and then you also end up with the hearts as well. So I think I'm going to use the strawberry slush heart like that, and then the outline is going to be Secret Sea. Now this is a real trick to this. If you don't want to fuss with glue for this, because you can get it all over the place, use an adhesive sheet when you cut out your sunglasses, and then you won't get glue all over the place. So we'll use a couple of dimensionals on the backs, and we'll save those other sunglasses. I'll just put them into my stamp case. So we're just going to take and put that as if they're hanging off of the pocket like that. Now I wanted to, I need a glue dot for my ribbon. My scarf. I guess it could be a ribbon too, but we're just going to take and put that on like that, so it looks like I've got a scarf hanging from my bag. Now I'm not going to, that's the bag, similar to this one, except this one I actually tied a little piece of ribbon. So I did the red and black sunglasses. You could put embellishments on if you wanted to, but I think it's really cute. So again, lots of things can go into your little gift bag if you want to. And if you wanted to, you could even decorate it with the hearts that you cut out from the sunglasses. I wanted to just quickly show you, if you are decorating, if you're using the dies and cutting out the water bottle, when you cut out the water bottle, I cut out one in Secret Sea and one in Strawberry Slush, you get two pieces. One is the bottle itself, and one is kind of the cap on the bottle, I guess, or a holder. And I haven't quite figured out exactly what that does. I'm guessing it does something like that. But you do get two pieces, and I just wanted to show you that so that you don't lose this piece. Because like I said, I haven't quite figured out how it goes together. I think it goes on like that. Again, using some adhesive sheets would work better. So if you're making a card, I'm not going to put one of these water bottles in my bag, but if you're making a water bottle, you can change up the colors, and somebody will definitely figure out how that is supposed to go on, but I think it's kind of cute the way I've been doing it. So don't lose those pieces when you go to put your bag. So there you go. It really is such an adorable little bag. I've seen it made with all sorts of the designer series paper. Somebody made it out of the woven textures paper, so it looks like a beach bag, a straw beach bag. Again, you can scrunch up the paper, maybe wet it a little bit just with your spritzer, and it will scrunch up and make it look very cool. And then you can distress it as much as you want. A flowered bag, all sorts of things that you can do with this bag, but what a cute little thing. I don't know, if you have a bridal shower or a birthday party, wouldn't that make cute little party favors at each person's table, seat at the table? Maybe put their name on it with a little tag. All sorts of ideas that you can do with it. But I did want to my goal tonight was just to show you that it really isn't that hard to put that adorable little bag together. So stay tuned. I will be sharing more of the cards that I've made, where I've just put the one die cut bag onto a card. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now I'll be live again on Saturday at 11 o'clock Saturday. See, I think I'm still on holiday time. So live on Saturday with another project. So come join me at 11 o'clock Pacific. and hopefully you have some time to do some crafting in your craft room. Don't forget, there is a join special, so if you're not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, maybe you have considered joining. There is a join special on until the end of May that is a great deal, so you get a ton of extra product for $135 in Canada. So if you're interested in that, please reach out before the end of May and that opportunity goes away. Being part of the Stampin' Up! Community and all of the people that I get to meet, even online or in person, has just been the most amazing thing. All right, everybody, thanks again for joining me. Hope you have a